Like to call the meeting of Wareham Conservation Commission meeting of January 14, 2017. I wish everybody a happy new year, and I understand that Kenny is doing well, so good wishes to Kenny Baptiste. We have present is Jim Smith, Elizabeth Lyden, Elisa Hurd, Mary Taggart, Joe Liggett, Sandy Slavin, Acting Chair, and Agent Dave Pichette. It is only 7 o'clock, so we will go with the continued public hearings. We've had a request to continue the Carl Wurst and Amy West hearing until 2/1. May I have a motion to that?
So moved.
I have a motion by Joe.
Second.
Second by, heard Elizabeth first. We have to continue the public hearing until February 1st. The Frank Ahern, Adreen?
All those in favor?
Oh, yes, all in favor of it, postponing the meeting, the hearing on Worst and West. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? We have 500. 6-0. Going to be a good evening. We also have a public hearing for Frank Adrien from Manamet Shore Improvement Association. They've had a request to continue the hearing until January 18th.
So moved.
Joe moved the motion. Second by Mary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. It's been moved, continued until January 18th. We have a certification of compliance. Would you like to speak to that, please?
Sure. Yes.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman. Have the fee associated with that application.
Thank you. This project was at 17 Wild Rose Ave and involved repairs to an existing stone seawall. The work was fairly minor, but it has been completed according to the order of conditions, so I would recommend the issuance of the certificate of compliance for that project.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, and anybody in the audience? I'm seeing none. I'd like to may I have a motion to approve the certification of compliance?
So moved.
I have
Second.
Joe moved,
You move.
Elizabeth seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstained? Opposed? Passes, so they can have their certification of compliance. The next thing we can deal with is the request to approve the meeting minutes of May 4th, 2016. I've reviewed and I believe we have a problem in that Elizabeth Lyden is marked as an associate member. I believe that in May of 2016, she was a full member. Any other comments on the minutes by anybody? Because they were passed out to us electronically.
I think that was what I saw earlier, where they had her listed as an associate, but she was actually, I think, did a second or
Yes,
a motion.
yes,
So,
yes. Use the mic.
all right, you don't need me to repeat that, do you?
No, you saw the same.
All right,
So,
so I make a motion to accept those with the change on that. Would that work out all right?
yes, so we have a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We cannot accept the 2 votes from the associates, correct?
Right.
Because they were associates at the time and not voting members?
No, they can still
They were
vote.
They can
members,
vote?
Yeah.
just because they were still there.
Okay, so, okay. I know, but
No, I think we were members then,
this is May of 2016.
last May. Yes, I was definitely, I think, and you were from 15.
So there's more than this one amendment? The amendment,
I'll make the changes as needed based on the
So-
dates.
all right. Then I guess we have to pull back our second and pull back our motion and make amendments saying we will verify the member's position as of May 4th, 2016. Mr. Pichette will check to make sure that Elizabeth, Mary, and Alyssa were all members or their status as associate members as of this meeting. So we will make that amendment.
I'll rescind my first motion and make that motion.
Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor of accepting May 4, 2016 as amended? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, 600. So I will sign it with the note that it will be, membership status will be reviewed and adjusted, okay? Okay, this is the order of compliance, and here's your minutes.
Signature, please.
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss under other business, because we can't start the hearings until 7:15? Anybody?
We got snacks in
Forest
here.
cutting,
Hmm?
is forest cutting taken care of?
That's
Yeah.
something we discussed at the last meeting. I just had it on there in case any members had any additional questions, but no, I don't have anything further to bring up on that. I guess while we're waiting, one thing I would mention is in your mail, there was a letter from an engineer regarding repairs to the railroad bridge near the Narrows. So that is a project that is exempt from having permitting from the local conservation commission. So I just wanted you folks to be aware of that, and there is some details here if anybody's interested in looking at that. They do need to do some work, because there is some undermining by one of the abutments, and they just want to take care of it before it gets any worse, so.
Did they have a time frame?
They don't list a time frame. I just got this late this afternoon, so I have to call them
So I
and
guess it's
find out
not
about
happening
it.
tomorrow.
No, no. They still have permitting to get. They just sent this to us as a courtesy to let us know that the work was gonna be taking place at some point down the road.
Is there, in the past, we've had some, had enforcement orders. Do we know if they've all been implemented or resolved, or should we go back and review some of our prior enforcement orders to make sure that they've done what they were supposed to do?
Yeah, I was talking to Chairman Baptiste about this yesterday and explained to him that I was gonna be bringing some of these back up in February.
Like Mr. Cook?
Yes, we have a few of them that need to be dealt with again,
Yes. Okay,
so.
thank you. Because it's been, where do they stand? All right, come on. We're gonna have empty air when this airs, and it's gonna look silly.
Any of these we
Can
can
have some
start
editing.
crossing out?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything for conservation restrictions or stewardship, no bills, no appointments. The forest cutting plan, I think we're waiting for it to be printed, to be typed so we can review it, correct? I mean, we talked about the forest cutting plan, but I don't think we've,
No, we had that at the last meeting. It was just if members wish to go to the site or look at the site or have questions once they realized where the property was.
that was just the cutting at the Lyman Reserve.
Correct.
What about our tree removal policy we were working on? Where does that stand? Right, was that one of the things we were talking about is, what do we do
Yes.
when someone wants a tree down?
I think we picked a number.
We
Yeah,
said they
well,
have to replant. We just discussed it, taking it one by one, that there has to be some planting which will offset what they're taking out, and that's
Is-
sort of what
I
we
was gonna
decided.
I was gonna s-
Formalize that, though, in
Yeah.
writing and bring it up
Yeah, if
at
you
another
could
meeting, yes.
Put it in writing and put it on the agenda so we can all see the what we consider to
And
be
then
the final, just to make sure there's nothing more we might want to add to it.
Right, and I think at that point, it would still be under discussion, and then ultimately, the board could vote on whatever final version they felt was appropriate, so,
As it certainly not, will not be a bylaw, but just a
No.
guideline for us.
right.
Are you including your, I forget the name now, basically your discretion too, as far as like small, like somebody wants to take down one tree or two trees that are,
I'll draft that language, and then the board can decide what they feel is acceptable or
I
not.
just don't see having a bottleneck on something simple that could be taken care of in the office,
Right,
you know. 4 more minutes.
It's funny.
put the tape on pause.
Yeah. If you need to be somewhere, 4 minutes go by.
I know. But we're sitting here saying, oh, Bob's got blank airspace. Sounds like a planning
We
board.
might just-
Good.
Well, you could pass it out.
Sure, why not?
Like to meet afternoon is beautiful across the city,
It was pretty.
beautiful.
Sunsets is in the
Okay,
Always when it gets colder out.
we'll share.
You wanna be able to read it, or?
Well, yeah.
Okay, this is the Parkwood one.
Very interesting, that, to see where. You know this site, right?
Mhm.
You know if you wanna pass one down to them, Dan.
You know where the site is, don't you, in Parkwood, Mary, Alyssa?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Parkwood Drive, yeah.
Anybody get to see the Rose Bowl this past? Oh, what a game. What a game. Well, I watched almost 50 hours of Star Trek Voyager.
Was that Rose Bowl the one where nobody played defense for the whole
That's
game?
right, there was no defense played at all, except for the interception in the last minute.
Okay.
I saw the new Star Wars.
Oh, you did? Yes.
How was it?
Lot of killing, huh?
Well, I mean, it wasn't,
It was
Typical
typical
for-
Darth Vader.
yeah,
Good.
it wasn't like gory. It
Hmm?
was pretty good.
It was a good Star Wars.
Not a heroic ending, though.
No. Reminded me of that hit ending in, what was it, Vesuvius erupted Pompeii or something like, 7:15. Please read the first hearing.
Notice of public hearing pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, Division 6. The public hearing will be held in room 320, Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass., on Wednesday, January 4th, 2017, at 7:15 p.m. on the request for determination of applicability for Lynn Manning, care of GAF Engineering, Inc., 266 Main Street, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to construct an addition for property located on Assessor's Map 38, lots 262 and 270, 110 Parkwood Drive, Wareham, Mass.
Thank you. Mr. Pichette, would you like to?
Get the representative.
Oh, yes, may I have your name, please?
Yes, for the record, I'm Bob Rogers from GAF Engineering.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, so again, the project site is at 110 Parkwood Drive, and the project involves the construction of an addition within a coastal flood zone at this site. A 26 by 29-foot addition is proposed within coastal flood zone AE elevation 15. The work is not within the buffer zone to any other resource areas. The project is basically within the existing lawn area. The grade is relatively flat, but there would be some minor grading done around the addition as shown on the plan. I would recommend the approval of the project with a negative determination number 2.
Bob, any more you'd like to add to that comment?
No, that's exactly what we're seeking. Project's been through the ZBA and, just for informational purposes, so once the project's completed, we'd be filing for a letter of map amendment to get the flood zone altered around the addition, so to save them money on insurance. It's part of the reason for the fill.
Questions from the board? Jim?
No.
Elizabeth?
No.
Lisa?
No.
Mary? Joe?
No questions.
I have no questions. Anybody in the audience wishes to comment on this project? I see none. Joe has given us a motion to close the hearing.
Second?
Second, Elizabeth has seconded. All in favor? Aye. Hearing is closed.
Motion to grant with a -2 determination.
Joe has given us a motion for a -2 determination of this project.
Second?
I have a second from Elizabeth. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Done.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great night.
Maybe 6:20 will be out of here.
Notice of public hearing pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protected Bylaw, Division 6. A public hearing will be held in Room 320, Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass., on Wednesday, January 4th, 2017, at 7:15 p.m. On the notice of intent for David Goldstein, JC Engineering, Inc., 2854 Cranberry Highway, East Wareham, Mass., 02538, for a septic system upgrade for property located on Assessor's Map 132, Lot 1042, 2683 Cranberry Highway, East Wareham, Mass.
Thank you. Representative, state your name, please, for the record.
Good evening, Brad Bertolo, JC Engineering.
You have the green cards.
Yes. So the project site is at 2683 Cranberry Highway, and the project involves upgrading a septic system in the buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland and within a coastal flood zone. The existing cesspool at this property is to be replaced with a new Title V nitrogen-reducing septic system. The new leach field would be approximately 61 feet to the edge of the bordering vegetated wetland. The leach field would be raised approximately 2 feet from the existing grade, and you can see the proposed contours shown on the plan. There's a couple of existing concrete pads that would need to be removed to accommodate the new leach field. They also have a dewatering sediment trap shown on the plan in case they need that to construct the project. I did have a recommendation to try to relocate that further from the edge of the wetland on the site. Hay bales and silt fence would be installed between the work and the resource areas. We do have a DEP file number that we've received for the project. So I would recommend the issuance of the order of conditions with the standard conditions and the added conditions to relocate the dewatering basin, and also that any demolition material in terms of old concrete be removed from the property.
Yes, Brad, anything you'd like to add, please?
No, nothing further. We could relocate that sediment trap further away from the wetland.
Any questions on the board? Jim?
No.
Elizabeth? Elisa?
No.
Mary? Joe? I have none. Anybody? Oh, there's nobody in the audience. There's nobody here that would like to comment on this project.
Motion to close.
Joe's made a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Jim has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Hearing is closed.
Okay, make a motion to grant with the standard conditions, plus the added condition of removing debris and concrete from the site, and to locate the dewatering basin farther away from the wetlands.
Second?
I have that, his motion, Joe's motion. Elizabeth seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? You have your order of conditions. Anything else?
Gonna set a record here tonight?
We
Say
did
it, say
set a
it,
record.
say it.
Quick,
Motion to
I
adjourn?
have a motion to adjourn.
second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained.
At
Good night,
7:21.
7:22. Woo!